Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. For more, please subscribe, like, or get notifications. We're going to start today with a yoga practice, intermediate level. All you need is your mat. We're going to start out in child's pose, so go ahead, take a knee, line your toes up with the back edge of your mat, and reach your hands out to the front edge. As you settle your hips down towards your heels, allow your lungs to expand along the back of the body. Feel your shoulders soften towards the floor, and let your elbows relax towards the mat. If you need to adjust at any time, please feel free to do just that. One more deep breath in here, and then we're going to slide the left hand back to the left knee. Shift your hips over to the right side, and notice that stretch all the way from your fingertips down through the shoulder to the hips. Breathe along the right edge of the body, and then slowly shift back center. Bend your right elbow and take your hand towards the back of the head or maybe between the shoulder blades. Leaning over to the right, you want to feel that stretch from elbow to armpit into the triceps. One more deep breath here. And then go ahead, release the right hand towards the right knee. Slide the left hand forward and shift your hips over to the left side of your mat. And breathe all the way from your fingertips down to your hips. One more breath and then shift back forward. Take the hand to the back of the head or maybe between the shoulders. Loosen up along the back of the arm into the triceps. And slowly transition to both elbows to the mat, both hands towards the back of the head or towards the shoulder blades. Taking a moment here to set your intention, hands in Anjali Mudra behind the head. Still relaxing in child's pose, still opening up along the backs of both arms now. With your intention in mind, reach your hands back out to the front of your mat. Come into a tabletop position, hands under shoulders, hips over knees, round up into cat, and then release down into cow. Arch along the back, squeeze the belly back towards the spine. Release the belly, shift the tailbone towards the shoulders. Good, continue, feel that stretch along the back and then the front of the body. Feel the strength of your arms, the length of your legs. From tabletop, we're going to extend the right arm out, extend the left leg out. Hold here for a moment in bird dog, trying to balance both left and right sides. Reaching, stretching, and extending both to the front and to the back. Now go ahead and reach your right hand back towards your left foot. Try to make that connection if you can. Lift up and elongate from hip flexor all the way through the top of the thigh to the toes. And then stretch from the abdomen to the chest and shoulder in the right side. Release hand from foot, extend arm and leg back out. Release the hand one step further forward. Take your left hand, bring it to the front edge of the mat as well. Shift into a plank, drop down, and let's come into scorpion. Your right foot is going to hold that left leg in place, left leg up towards the sky, toes pointed. And we're trying to move the right leg as far down the thigh as possible, heel on top or in front of the knee. Both heels back behind you. Let's come up into bow pose. Roll the shoulders back, lift the thighs as much as feels good for you. Wrap the hands around the tops of the feet, open up along the chest, along the front body. This is a backward bend, so engage your bandhas or binds. As you release the feet, let's go to the other side. Push, press, and lift into your tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, left hand out, right leg back. Let's come into bird dog. Core connection, eye gaze out over the front edge of the mat. Fingertips and toes reaching in opposite directions. Let's take that connection, trying to reach hand towards foot. If you can make it, you reach and lift. Good, into that oppositional stretch, like a kneeling dancer pose. As you release the hand, go ahead, bring it to the front edge of your mat, extend the leg back, walk your right hand with the left, drop down, and then curl your left heel, toes pointed. Go ahead, placing the heel above or below the knee. From Scorpion, let's bring both knees back down to the mat. Curl both heels to hips. Try to make the connection and come into Grasshopper this time. So hands reaching to the inner arches of the feet. Elbows pinched together along the back. Pushing the heels along the outer edges of the hips. Lift your elbows up. Try to lift and expand along your chest, looking through the eyebrows towards the sky. As you come out of Grasshopper, come up, push, press, and take a seat into wide stance child's pose. Hands in Anjali Mudra out to the front, palms pressed together. Chest sinks between the knees. Lengthen from your arms all the way down your back. Coming up, let's rise into tabletop. Curl toes under heels, push, press, lift, and come into your downward facing dog. Readjust as necessary, walking the hands, walking the feet, finding that perfect spot where you feel the stretch along the backs of the legs and feel the strength of the arms as you lengthen along the back body. Walking or sashaying your dog. I call bending the knees walking. I call moving knees to opposite sides sashaying. So just in case. You're going to reach your right leg all the way up to the sky, coming into your three-legged dog. And then slowly fold that knee in, curling heel towards hip. From there, let's begin to move into our wild thing. Reaching arm overhead, flip, extend. It's like a side plank with sass, right? Come down from that, reaching hands towards toes, head, neck, and shoulders fold forward. Good, so now we've got that right knee bent, left leg extended, reaching out towards thigh, shin, or bottom of foot. Fold your chest down as far as feels comfortable. One more deep breath and then inhale, rise up. Take your hand around your leg, twisting to the opposite side. So we've got left elbow, outer edge of right knee. You can also just wrap your arm around that leg as you pivot and turn, looking over the back shoulder. Now we're going to pinwheel back to the front, hands back into plank. Flip the feet over one another. Feet about hip width apart. Rise up onto the toes. Drop down into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise into Cobra or Up Dog. And then push, press, and lift into your downward facing. Drop one knee at a time. Go ahead, sashaying your dog. Let's do this whole sequence on the other side. So here we are, leg to sky. Should be our left side this time. Curl heel towards hip. And then flip. Right hand carries you. Left hand up and over, reaching to the back edge of your mat into Wild Thing. Guide strength into the bottom arm, bottom leg. Now drop into the hips, reach forward, and stretch. Heel to hip. Good. Left knee is bent, right leg extended, reaching, reaching, reaching. Inhale, rise up and pivot. Elbow to outer edge of knee, turning to look over the back shoulder. One more deep breath. And then slowly release from your seated pivot turn into plank. From plank, rise up onto toes. Exhale down into Chaturanga. Inhale, rise into Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, sashaying dog. Awesome. Let's go back into leg to sky. So we've got the right leg back up to the sky. Fold the knee between the wrists and come into your pigeon pose. Left leg relaxed on towards the floor, right knee between the thumbs, looking up through the eyebrows towards the sky. Let's go for that oppositional reach again. Again, driving some length into the quadricep, into the hip flexor. Hand reaches around the outer or inner edge of the foot, whatever feels right for you. Now let's slowly release that. Left foot back down to the floor, right hand to the mat, left hand up, reaching, reaching, reaching with a light backward bend. Looking up through the eyebrows towards the sky, just go as deep as feels right for you. Take your time, lengthen, extend, and elongate. Slowly bring both feet to the front of your mat. Into your cobbler's pose, let's reach the hands underneath the calves. Wrap your hands around your calves or around the tops of the feet. Bow forward and then pull your chest through your shoulders so you feel that stretch along the upper back. So the calves are drawing the forearms down to the floor, kind of helping the shoulders open up along the back body. And then you're emphasizing that by pulling the chest through the shoulder blades, stretching more upper and middle back. Inhale, rise up, and let's switch sides. All right, so we've moved one leg forward, one leg back. So we've got the right leg behind, the left leg forward. We're going to try to curl heel towards hip. Try to reach the opposite hand back to it, reaching to the outer edge or inner arch of the foot. Your right hand is there for balance and stability, pushing in towards the mat. Maybe you're leaning a little bit towards the right, so you can feel the stretch into the right hip flexor and quad. As you release the foot back down to the floor, you have a light backward bend. Left hand down for support, right hand up, looking through the eyebrows towards the sky. Exhale, release. Hands back down to the mat. Push, press, lift into your plank position. Exhale to the mat. Inhale, rise up into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, and we sashay. Awesome. Let's go back into that same triple dog. All right, so from here, we're going to take a big step, right foot to the front outer edge of your mat. Push the thigh away from you, and then maybe pivot to the outer blades of the feet as you come into your hip flossing position. I'm pretty sure that's a technical term. All right, so left hand down to the floor, right hand up to the sky, and now bring that right hand back down. Let's drop the bottom left knee to the floor and let's walk our hands into kneeling lizard lunge. This is a great stretch for the inner thighs, for the hips, and also for that back hip flexor. So we've got a lot of depth into all of our hip areas, groin and hip crease. As you rise up, we're going to shift the hips back towards the heel, coming into kneeling pyramid or kneeling split position. Your right hand can wrap around your toes, so you stretch from heel all the way up to your hips. Let's try this from standing. Drop the front knee over the ankle, curl the back toes under, come back up to standing. Walk the hands forward, maybe in front of the toes, and try to drop down to your lowest level. So maybe that's forearms, maybe you're still up onto your hands. If uncomfortable, of course, you are able to drop that back left knee again. Otherwise, we just stay here. Try to find that depth and extension. As you unfold front knee, coming into your standing supported pyramid pose, toes up or toes down. You can take your peace fingers and wrap them around your pinky toe or your big toe again. Feel that stretch from heel to hip. Release both hands to the floor, sweep both feet back, rise up, drop down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, and we sashay. All right, left leg's turn. Bring it up to the sky. Step it forward. Push it away. Push, 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 and come into your hip floss. There we go. So hip floss, you should feel it in the top outer edge of the thigh, the bottom outer edge of the thigh, top of the hip, obliques. Hands come down. Drop the back right knee. Drop the top of the foot. Come down to your lowest level. Relaxing elbows under shoulders. Fixing your hair if you need to. Looking out over the front edge of the mat. Breathe. Just breathe. As you unfold, kneeling split. Toes pull up towards your shin, heel presses down to the floor, hips shift back towards the back heel. You could sit this one out too, like sit the hips all the way to the back right heel, or you could stay elevated like me, hips over knee, whatever feels right for you. As you bring that front foot back down to the floor, curl the back toes under, come into lizard with back knee elevated. All right, so again, down onto hands, down onto forearms. Wherever your edge is, that's where you want to press to. Good, so that front left knee out, walk the hands up, unfold the front knee, come into your pyramid pose here. Back heel towards the floor. You could pivot that back heel around too, so it's making connection with the mat to give you a little bit better stability and balance. Both hands down, sweep the leg back, exhale to the mat, inhale into cobra or up dog, exhale, push, press, lift, find downward facing once again, and walk your dog. Walk your dog all the way forward, head, neck, shoulders, fold to the mat. Reach your hands to your opposite elbows. Relax forehead. Relax shoulders. Relax along the back edge of the body. From here, let's move into our cool down. We're going to walk back into our plank position. Shoulders in front of hands. Inhale, rise up into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, and walk your dog. Good. Let's slowly fold, knee in, and step back. Good. Coming into plank, fold the right knee in, and step back. So we've gone through, fold the left knee to the outer edge of the wrist. We've done that in our lizard lunge. Fold the right knee to the outer edge of the wrist or shoulder and step back. Now let's bring the knee across the body and step through, coming into your starfish or starfish plank position. Left hand down, right hand meets it. Lower your body all the way to the mat. Now let's extend the left leg out or left arm and then push into the right hand, pivoting your body so you get that stretch into the left shoulder, stretch into the outer edge of the left hip as well. Exhale, bring it back in, slide your left hand in, push, press, lift, both feet back together. Drive your body back into downward facing, walk your dog, and let's do the same on the right. Thread the knee, extend it through, and bring the left hand up to the sky. Good, right hand down, left hand goes to meet it. Drop your body all the way down. Let's go ahead and extend the right arm out, push into the left hand, and pivot your whole body over towards the right, just going to your edge so you feel the stretch along the chest and shoulder in the front of the body. Awesome. Pivot back in, slide the hand in, push the body away from the mat. Let's bring both legs around to the front this time. Extending both legs into your staff position. Extend the arms up nice and tall. Exhale, fold, reaching fingertips to toes. Feel that stretch along the back edge of the body from your arms all the way down to your tailbone, from your tailbone all the way down to your heels. Now from here, let's slowly make our way down to the mat. Fold your heels in toward your hips. Reach your hands toward your heels. Let's go ahead, bridge up, drive through the heels, lift into the hips and glutes, reach your hands underneath, interlace your hands, and push those hands toward your heels. Roll your shoulders underneath your chest. Go ahead, feel that stretch along the thighs, into the hips, into the abdomen. Reach your arms out to each side, create some space for the hips to drop back down. Bring the knees over to one side of your mat and reach the arms opposite. Go ahead, feel that pivot stretch along the outer edge of the thigh, the glutes, the obliques, all the way out to the chest and shoulder. Let's reverse to the other side. Knees fall one direction, arms go opposite. Feel the stretch all the way along the perimeter of the body from knees to shoulders. Then go ahead and bring it into the center. Extend the legs out long. Take one hand to heart, one hand to abdomen, and follow each breath from inhale through all the way to exhale. Feel the chest rise and fall. Notice the sensations within the body as you breathe. Any tightness, any tingling. Any other sensations you could name. Exhaustion, fatigue, energy, joy. Notice these changes in sensation from when you arrived to now as we're preparing to depart. Relax your arms by your sides. And whenever your mind begins to wander, turn your attention back to your breath. I'm going to leave you with this quote from young Pueblo. Time does not heal all wounds. It just gives them space to sink into the subconscious, where they will continue to impact your emotions and behavior. What heals is going inward, loving yourself, accepting yourself, listening to your needs, addressing your attachments and emotional history, learning how to let go, and following your intuition. These next few moments are all yours. Your space, your time to go inward, to love yourself, to accept yourself, to listen to your needs, address your attachments, learn how to let go, and to follow your intuition. When you're ready, slowly draw your heels in toward your hips, wrap your arms around your legs, swirl your knees around, and stretch into the back, massaging into the area just above the glutes. Let's circle around the other direction. And when you're ready, slowly make your way into a seated position. From seated, reach arms up to sky, extend, wrapping your hand around one wrist at a time, lengthening from hands to shoulders, from shoulders to hips. Then bring your arms around to the front, interlace the fingers, and pull the chest to the back. Feel the stretch from the wrists all the way into the upper back and neck. Now open the arms out wide, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, fingertip to fingertip. Exhale, bring it all the way in and wrap yourself in a well-deserved hug. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, be well, and namaste.